Hi, I'm Dee Dee Bass-Wilbon.
And I'm Dina Bass-Williams, and we are the Bass Sisters.
And this is Policy and Pound Cake. And we are so excited because we just saw The Woman King. And I felt Woman King.
It was a great movie.
It really was a wonderful movie. It started off a little slow the very beginning it was boom, but then it was kind of slow in the beginning. But it definitely picked up. Mm-hmm. And it was exciting for me to go see the movie. The two of us went, and we took my 15-year-old daughter. It was just awesome to see that beautiful cast of beautiful Black women, mm-hmm. all different shades of brown, all
shapes and sizes,
the men as well. But it was a full cast of strong, mentally and physically badass Black women. And I just was excited about it. And now there's a lot of chatter going on social media.
Yeah, there are two different things. The first chatter that we're going to talk about is the chatter, does representation matter?
We absolutely believe that it does matter. I get excited, and I think a lot of us get excited when we see people portrayed on screen in books, commercials, movies, TVs, whatever, that look like us. And I don't think that there's a problem with getting excited for a little girl to see a Black queen or a Black king. I think it's absolutely okay. And for those of you
for Black little Black girls or old Black women,
thank you,
to see middle-aged Black women to see ourselves on screen.
Absolutely. And for those of you who feel as though that or get all uncomfortable by
the fact that we are excited about
it. Exactly. That's something that you're going to have to deal with
on your own,
in your own little closet or something.
And the example that we often go to is that when we were little girls in the 80s and we got a Crayola crayon box, mm-hmm. and we picked out the flesh colored crayon, the flesh colored crayon was actually peach. It was the color of white people's skin. Now, I think it was in the 1960s that Crayola actually stopped using that label, but they had created so many crayons that by the time we were coloring 20 years later in the 80s, we still had to use the crayon that said flesh, and it wasn't our flesh tone. And so we have been so underrepresented mm-hmm. in every place that we do believe that representation, we like seeing ourselves in the boardroom. We like seeing people that look like us in the classroom. We like seeing people that look like us in business. And the fact that we celebrate seeing brown, Black, dark-skinned people in a full cast of a movie, I don't see why that's so controversial that we actually celebrate that.
I don't either. And one of our favorite conservative writers, Thomas Sowell, he says that there's nothing that says that it improves outcomes, but we know that it makes us feel good. It makes us excited and want to cheer even louder sometimes. And not only does representation matter, in those places that Dina talked about, but ideologically, it also matters.
And ideological representation matters in those places.
Right. So, it does. It really does. So, for example, if I have
and this is going to offend some people because we're Black conservative women.
If you didn't know,
Policy and Pound Cake we are conservative. So.
Right. So watch out. Hold on. Don't
brace yourself.
Brace yourselves. Okay. Just get ready. If we have a white man who is championing life and he believes that life begins in the womb, which we do and which we champion, and we are very excited and believe that, versus a Black woman who doesn't believe that life begins in the womb, I'm here to tell you the white man is going to get my vote.
Because we believe ideological representation matters.
Absolutely. And it's full stop, plain and simple. There's nothing controversial about that.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. So that is one part of representation.
Right. Representation matters. And it matters, as Dee Dee has pointed out, ideologically. It matters in terms of seeing people who look like you. So that's one area where the film has gotten a little heat.
Right.
The other area is in the 100% historical accuracy of the film. And we find it interesting that people are calling for a boycott of this film because it's not 100% historically accurate. And we are going to slaughter a lot of these names. So get mad at us if you want to. We're going to do our best. Okay, we're going to do our best.
And we're not trying to slaughter names.
We're not trying to slaughter names. we tried, and we hope we do right, but we might not. Okay, so we are learning about the Dahomey Kingdom.
This is a history of what the movie is based on.
Right.
It's loosely based
So
on.
we're learning about the Dahomey Kingdom. We're learning about the Ajoji
women. It was a 600 army of Black women,
warrior
600 women.
We're learning about Benin. We have learned that we are 14% Benin. So
be afraid.
Be afraid. Be very afraid. So this history, we're learning about these things, and so this may be a slight spoiler. So if you haven't seen the movie, step away.
Right.
But we are also hearing that people are saying that the woman king, that the Ajoji women were actually not the saviors as they are portrayed in the movie.
Well, guess what? You need to see the movie before you decide if you're going to boycott the movie. And we're telling you not to boycott the movie.
Don't boycott the movie.
Because when you see the movie, and like Dina said, if you haven't seen it and you want to see it, a little bit of a spoiler, the woman that Viola Davis that she portrays, there's a part in the movie where she is actually telling the king, listen, we are not going to do this. We're not participating in this slave trade. We're going to do, I think it was oil. Palm oil.
They're going to sell palm oil.
Right.
So the argument has been that the Ajoji women were actually, I think one commentator called them, they were actually pimps, because a part of the Ajoji, a part of this tribe actually took women, they captured women and they sold women to the Europeans.
Right.
And that is not ignored in this movie. Viola Davis's character acknowledges that they are a part of the problem. Now, it's not the whole movie.
No, it's not.
But it's very, very clear that they have acknowledged that they were brutal, that they took Black women, enslaved them, and sold them to Europeans. That's bad. But my concern is that if people actually boycott this movie,
there won't be another movie like this.
There won't be another movie
for
like
a very long time.
A movie, Hollywood, the money behind backing this kind of film will shrivel up.
Right.
So if we want to see more of us, even if you're not Black and brown, if you want to see more of these kinds of films, you got to go and support these kind of films.
Right.
It's just that simple.
We're encouraging people, don't boycott
this film. And also in this whole, first of all, people can't have it both ways.
They really can't.
Same people, angry tribe of people who boycott this film is not pure to the African story.
Are the same
people who are saying we need more Black women in film. And also, this is my personal final thing on this. These people who are also clamoring for purism, who are saying it's not pure. When have you watched a movie
that was completely
pure? I mean, a great quote from one of the great Black film directors, Julie Dash. She says, and I hope I get the quote right, but basically, history is not what actually happened. Even if you read it in a book, the true history, the history that most people will remember and believe, is what they see on the silver screen. So yes, by telling this grand story, most people will see the Ajoji tribe as heroes, but we have to have the next movie and dig more. The movies that we watched about George Washington.
Not all those movies were accurate 100%.
We got to dig.
Right. And that's what we did. We dug and found stuff.
And the experience is to go and to be a part of a story, but you come home and you have conversations about it, and you learn more about what you actually what you actually just experienced in the movie theater. Right. If you believe every single thing that you see on TV or that you read on the internet,
or that you see on YouTube or whatever,
you're gonna have to deal with that in your own space.
Really.
We're just saying this is a great cinematic experience.
It is a wonderful cinematic experience.
And go see the movie. Now to the true spoiler alert. If you have not seen the movie, go see the movie.
Please step away.
And then come back and watch this part, because we believe that the woman king, as Dee Dee said after we left that movie, God does not make a mistake.
He doesn't. And if any of you...
So spoiler alert, we're going to put a big spoiler alert. Go back and then come back. Hit it.
Okay. So... If you have not read Viola Davis's book, first of all,
Finding Me,
please also go read her book. It's a wonderful book. We did a book club with Bond Girl Books, and it was great. So please go read the book. But this movie, there's a portion in this movie where Viola Davis, she goes back and she remembers, not that she remembers, but Viola Davis has a baby.
And she's been having flashbacks of being raped.
Right. Flashbacks of being raped. And she has this dream also of this big person in her dream. And she doesn't realize that the person in the dream is her, she's the person in the dream. But she has these flashbacks of being raped, giving birth, and deciding that she wants her baby to live. So she has her best friend take the baby. But before the best friend takes the baby away, Viola Davis marks her baby, takes a knife, marks her baby. She puts a shark tooth, the tooth of a shark, inside of the womb. The baby grows up.
The womb heals. The baby grows up.
It kilos. She grows up to a beautiful, beautiful young lady.
She's adopted
because her mother wanted her to live. She gave her life.
And this daughter becomes this little bitty
tiny thing,
becomes one of the fiercest Ajoji warriors.
I mean, y'all, there's a part in the movie, she's twirling that rope and she is a straight badass. I'm like, you better get it, girl. It is so good.
I want to learn. Do they have rope classes? Because I want to learn what she did.
But Dina and I also had a quick video after the movie, so you might want to see some of our moves as well.
But at any rate, it is this movie, as Dee Dee said, God doesn't make any mistakes. This movie confirms, champions, celebrates life.
It really does.
It celebrates the value of life and saying that people cannot be bought and sold. It celebrates the value of life, saying that babies in the womb should have a chance to live and become their best.
And this young lady became her best.
It's amazing.
Awesome.
So we hope that you have a chance to see this movie. We implore you, please go and see this movie.
We're going to see it again.
And we are going to dig into the research, particularly now that we know that we're 14% Benin, and it's, again, we think it's important to have the debate, to have the conversation about the truth and the stories, because we know for so long, when you showed movies of Africans and the African continent from the early days of cinema, it was like always a white man and then the Africans with this, like it was just like, what are you doing?
Right.
But this movie celebrates the majesty, the beauty, the intellect. That's what Dee Dee talks about. Not just the physical strength, but the intellect, the mental strength. So
but
we're all about it.
We're all about it. And because it is a true story, because it is history,
it's based on
a true story. And because it's history, we want to know all of it, not just parts of the history, but we want to know all of it. So there is so much good in the history of the Ajoji women and the Dahomey tribe. There's good in that, in their history, and there's bad. We want to know all of it. So, okay, that's it for today. Thank you.
We hope that you will always like, follow, and share. Comment, give us your feedback.
We really do, and look forward to your comments and your feedback when we do these. So
yes,
please.
It's the marketplace of ideas.
Absolutely.
Okay, don't live in an echo chamber.
Not a good idea.
Not a good idea. You will die. Okay, you might not die, but you will definitely be stupid.
Attack policy, not people.
You will have stupid policies.
Exactly.
If you live in an echo chamber.
So don't do that. Thank you guys for joining us. In case you missed them, you can listen to archived episodes of Policy and Pound Cake, link in bio.